relationship back in the 80s.
Thank you.
Is there any truth to that? I know that Paul Mooney's denied it.
Well, whatever happened in my life, it happened when I was young, way before the 80s.
Okay, so was it a consensual relationship?
How could any relationship be consensual if I was a teenager?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it was.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again. Hit you with a video. Now, I hope you all been having a very good week, having a very good morning so far. And I had to hit you all with this story that's recently gone mega viral, super viral, all kinds of viral. Anyway, big shout out to all the family, the friends, the haters and the associates of the Trey King Show. Well, we had a story that come out a few days ago, and I'll be damned if it ain't got the whole city talking, everybody and their mama talking. You feel what I'm saying? About Paul Mooney and the ledge. And these are strong allegations, and I use the word allegedly very loosely. You feel what I'm saying? So it was alleged that Paul Mooney molested Richard Pryor Jr. when Richard Pryor was just a teenager. And, you know, after doing a lot of research, because I do a lot of research, I just don't go look at one thing and just run and grab a camera like a lot of other people do. But I have to compare 2 and 2 together and make sure I can get 4. Because if I'm adding 2 and 2 and I'm getting 3 and 5, I have to come back to the drawing board and start over again. So as I look on TMZ, they recently called up with Richard Pryor Jr. a couple of days ago and asked him basically about these allegations. And he had this to say. He said basically that how can it be consensual, which he did not deny Paul Mooney molested him when he was young. And also to the people who are getting this age thing confused, because they try to say that this happened around the time that Richard Pryor Jr. was allegedly 24 to 25 years old, around the time the movie of his dad, Richard Pryor Sr., was JoJo Dancer that came out, I think 85, the end of 85, 86, when JoJo Dancer came out, which was a good movie. But they trying to say since Richard Pryor ex-wife, you know what I'm saying, his wife, matter of fact, let me get her name right here. She had made a tweet, basically, you know what I'm saying, shooting back at these allegations and everything, which she said they were pretty much true. And her name is Jennifer Lee Pryor. And she said, don't know. And they had a guy that basically exposed all this. His name was Rashawn Khan, which was Richard Pryor's former trainer and also bodyguard. And when I looked to see that interview, I read a lot of body language. The man was sitting straight. He wasn't, you know, being all finicky and everything. He was basically speaking real. And you could tell with somebody telling the truth, you know what I'm saying, at least most of the time. But I have a good feeling that this man was telling the truth. So what he basically did was let the cat out the bag. But this goes to show you what's done in the dark shall come to the light one day. You cannot sit up here and do people dirty if all this is true, which I do believe that is true. Now, I've been heard rumors about Paul Mooney years ago. I'm sure some of you all have that's, you know, been around the industry or, you know what I'm saying, paid attention to the industry. You will hear a lot of things. And these rumors that's been going on since I was a kid, but I just didn't know nothing about it. But anyway, back to Jennifer Lee Pryor, Richard Pryor ex. And she said that her son states clearly, child, I know besides Junior confirming doing, and she talking about Junior, Richard Pryor Jr., doing a luncheon that they had after Richard Pryor Sr., the dad funeral. The son stood up on stage in front of a room full of guests, in front of everybody, and told what really happened. So how can the son sit up here and be lying since people want to speculate all this? How can the son be lying when he said that he was a teenager when he actually told TMZ, how can it be consensual sex if I was a teenager? But you have the words coming out the horse's mouth and people still want to run with their own ideas of saying, well, how can he be 20 years old? That's not rape. I mean, come on. Do you all love these celebrities that much? Now, I'm not here to bash a Paul Mooney or anything like that because I have a lot of respect for the man. But at the same time, I have no respect for a molester if that's what he really is. But anyway, she said, I was told Mooney got kicked off JoJo's set and sent home because something happened in the trailer with Junior and Mooney, any more granular detail. So basically, she was basically saying that Junior Ben said this years ago. So, well, there's a lot of smoke. There's sure to be a fire brewing. But Richard Pryor, Junior's son, and I have to tip my hat to him for being strong because it's not like he's really trying to drag Paul Mooney. But at the same time, he wasn't the one that said this. Rashawn Khan, Richard Pryor's bodyguard, well, former bodyguard and trainer, exposed all this. And it's also said that Rashawn Khan has a book coming out. Now, we know during the time a lot of people have books coming out. They will speculate and they will say a few things, not saying that is what Rashawn Khan is doing. But, you know, people will exaggerate the truth. But I don't think he's exaggerating. Then he also said the fact about Richard Pryor wanted to have Paul Mooney killed. Wanted to have a hit put on Paul Mooney for $1 million for molesting his son. The way he broke it down, and any man, especially a man, I can understand that, because somebody violates your son, no matter what you're doing. And we know the history. Well, for some of us know certain histories in Hollywood where you had, the gay mafia. You had certain things going on to be a part of the industry. And it's kind of strange. A lot of them died of AIDS also. So let's just be honest with this right here. If you think I'm lying, go look off Verge off the Heat of the Night and start from there. The list goes down. All these men involved in these hidden lifestyles dying of AIDS. But anyway, back to the story. So one would be led to believe that this man, Rasan Khan, is telling a lot of truth because at his age, what does he have to gain from all this? Well, he can get a lot of money. Okay. I mean, like, for real, like, is somebody going to do all that? I know people do a lot of things for money, but I'm sure that there is some truth to this. Whether Richard Pryor put the hit out or not, that's not so much important. What's important the most is the fact that did Paul Mooney molest, rape this teenager? And for you all saying that this man was a grown man, trying to compare what the mom said, what Richard Pryor's ex-wife said to the time of JoJo Dancer the movie, and comparing Richard Pryor Jr. age, you all are wrong when you hear the man himself saying that he was a teenager. But anyway, I'm going to dive a little deeper. I'm going to read a snippet from this story, and I'm going to give my opinion. Surely, as we go. Richard Pryor Jr. says he was molested as a child, but refuses to name his assailant. Pretty much he basically named the man. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know why when he come on out and just flat out say it, but he's pretty much saying it because I'm thinking that really he's beyond that by now. You know what I'm saying? How you just beyond something you really don't want to confront them or you don't want to deal with it. That's how people deal with their problems. And Richard Pryor Jr. also said that this happened before the 80s. So before the 80s, Richard Pryor Jr. was what? A damn teenager. For all you people on not TMZ, on Twitter, saying that this man was 25. He said this happened before the 80s. It's amazing how people take certain shit from the story, you know what I'm saying, to fit them because they want to take up for Paul Mooney, because you have these celebrities that some of these people would fight you for, kill you over, and argue with you day and night over somebody else they see on TV. Now, I understand that people lie, but come on now. Why would this boy lie way back then? You know what I'm saying? Telling what happened, then his dad ultimately finding out, then standing up in front of a room full of people when he was a young man after his dad had passed and still confessing the same thing. So do that sound like a lie? No. But anyway, Richard Pryor Jr. said he was molested as a child but refuses to name his assailant. Just one day after writer Paul Mooney, and it's notice how they always saying he's a writer. And also another thing that Rasan come before I get into this story real quick, he said that Paul Mooney never wrote for Richard Pryor. They used to bounce ideas off each other, just like anybody that's involved with news reporting, journalism, music, arts, or whatever. It could be just making a cake. You have somebody saying, well, you need to put the icing on this way, or you need to make the batter this way. You feel what I'm saying? Just because you give somebody an idea does not mean you created them. So they were trying to make it seem like Paul Mooney was the brains behind it and Richard Pryor was just a vessel. But that's not the case. And I'm glad that Rasan Khan cleaned it up, because he also said that if Paul Mooney did all this for Richard Pryor, why couldn't he do it for himself? Why was he only on Dave Chappelle's show for like one or two seasons? I think a couple episodes, not 2 seasons, when he played the actor Nerodamus, when he was talking basically about black people and all this stuff. And why was he cut short from Eddie Murphy years ago when Eddie Murphy had him and stuff? Because they evidently found out that he wasn't what he was cracked up to be. Now, I don't know anything else about what's, him supposedly not writing, but from what I know and from what I heard is the fact that Rasan Khan said that basically Richard Pryor, just like anybody else, they will hear ideas, but Richard Pryor did his own material. He's not like some of these coming todays who steal other people's material, and some bloggers also. But anyway, now, it's just one day after writer Paul Mooney was accused of having improper relations. It's not improper, it's molestation if the boy was a damn teenager, just like he said he was. I'm not saying he was. He said he was. He did not say that he was 25 years old. He said on TMZ, how can a teenager, and I'm going to keep saying this till you all get it, how can a teenager consent to sex with a grown man? This happened before the 80s. How did you all get 25 years old? I don't know. But anyway, of having improper relation with the son of the iconic comedian Richard Pryor Sr., may he rest in peace. The son of comedian Richard Pryor has refused to deny that he was molested by his father's close friend, the writer Paul Mooney. And that's a good thing, because if it's true, stand on your word. You see what I'm saying? And that lets you know it got to be some truth to it, some kind of way, because he's been saying this for damn near 40 years. Richard Pryor Jr. told TMZ on Tuesday that he had been sexually abused whilst he was underage, not 25 damn years old, not 26. And you all should be ashamed of yourselves when the man said his own self out his own mouth what happened. Forget what Richard Pryor's wife said or whatever. Listen to the victim. But anyway, he did not name his assailant because we already know it now. Now, the bombshell claim that Mooney had sex with Pryor Jr. was made by a former bodyguard during an interview on Monday. Pryor Sr., who is recognized as one of the most iconic comedians of the 20th century, frequently collaborated with Mooney during the heights of his fame. And we done seen roasts and stuff with him and Paul Mooney and some more early 70s to 80s black actors. They used to have these roasts and stuff where, they would roast the hell out of each other and stuff. And it's pretty much how they just bust each other what they call balls. You feel what I'm saying? Even though everybody up there ain't got no balls. You got some cookies up there too. But anyway, so Richard Pryor basically saying in one roast how he had sex with his first man, and the man, he would have married the man, but the man had to go out to get a sex change and all this other stuff. And he said that Paul Mooney was with him when he had sex with his first man, and also some other stuff about these studio executives, how Paul Mooney wanted to suck the man off. You got to listen to it. It's crazy. Some of you all probably heard it already. So they were very open back then, but still, the children are off limits. Now, Mooney has flatly dismissed claims he had sex with his close friend's son, but they said it in such a way where they said, well, he did not say Paul basically did it. He just naming, he just putting it out there. He's not saying no names. That's what Mooney's camp is standing on. Now, Richard Pryor Jr. has refused to dismiss a claim he was molested by his famous father's longtime friend and collaborator, Paul Mooney. On Tuesday, Pryor Jr., whose father is the iconic comedian Richard Pryor, told TMZ that he was abused as a teenager, not a damn grown man at 25 years old. He said on TMZ he was a teenager, this before the 80s. How can you all just negate that, put that in the back burner, the backdrop, and you go wrong with somebody else? Oh, this happened around the time JoJo Dancer. The timeline is off. No, your mind is off. Your train of thought is off. That's why everybody should be up here speaking about certain damn things. You know what I'm saying? If you can't even sit up here and listen to the person, the victim, that you're like, if somebody shoot me in my ass, you feel what I'm saying? And I know that's the wrong thing to talk about when you're talking about this type of situation. But just say somebody shoot you in your ass with a gun, not no penis now. And you tell them you got shot in 2001, but you have people that tell you, no, that happened in 2007. How you going to tell the victim what year it happened? People do that shit. But anyway, let's continue. But on Tuesday, Pryor Jr., whose father is the iconic comedian Richard Pryor, told TMZ that he was abused as a teenager, although he did not divulge the name of his assailant. But we've been hearing rumors about this. I heard about this years ago, heard about the video and all that, but I'll just, how a lot of other things, and stuff that happen day to day, you tend to what? Forget. Now, when the website asked Pryor Jr., who is now 57 years old, whether he had been molested by Mooney, who is 78 years old, back in the 1980s. But this was before the 80s. Whatever happened in my life, this is what Richard Pryor Jr. said out his mouth. Because when you stand on the truth, you don't have to sit up here and speculate. You can speak nothing but facts. You see what I'm saying? He said, whatever happened in my life, it happened when I was young, way before the 1980s. Now, how old would that make that man? If that man was 25 years old in 85, 86, he would be a damn teenager in the 70s. He said it out his own mouth. But you people take that and run with it because you're trying to big up Paul Mooney. I'm not trying to tear Paul Mooney down. But don't sit up here and make up your own damn narratives, your own story, just to make it fit you, or because you don't want nobody to tarnish somebody that you look up to or idolize. I don't care who you is. You see what I'm saying? If it was Michael Jordan, I looked up to Michael Jordan. I'm sure a lot of us had. But guess what? If it would have came out that Jordan was around here dunking balls and kids and stuff, guess what? I would no longer buy Jordans. I would no longer stand with Jordan. You see what I'm saying? The same with anybody else. Now, he said, and I must repeat this, whatever happened in my life, this is Richard Pryor Jr. talking to TMZ, and I will leave the link in the description below so you all can check it out. He said, whatever happened in my life, it happened when I was young, way before the the 1980s. How did you all get 25 years old when a man was a damn teenager in the 70s? He added, how can any relationship be consensual when I was a teenager? He made himself perfectly clear. So it don't matter what the victims say no more, because the media and these people is going to take the story and run with it. We have to stick to what the man said. We can't come in there and put our own damn 2 bits in there, our own 2 cents in there when Richard Pryor Jr. is the victim. How people do that? But this goes to show you how people is. You know what I'm saying? They do anything for some damn views or clout. He also says that it was not consensual because he was a teenager, and he basically just shrugged his shoulders and walked off. Mooney has steadfastly denied having sex with Pryor Jr. Mooney, who has not publicly disclosed his sexuality, but we can look and tell Paul Mooney is sweet as bear meat. Let's just be for real right now. And I'm going to leave a link to the description, you know what I'm saying? Well, the link to the website, so you all go check it out on Daily Mail, you know, so you all can read that. But back to this story, I want to go and close real quick. We can look and tell that Paul Mooney is sweeter than bear meat. And you know all a bear do is eat honey and salmon all day long. Sweet, sweet, sweet. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, anytime a man just look at you with them big buck eyes like that, and also the famous comedian Corey Holcomb, because I listen to the Corey Holcomb 5150, and big shout out to the 5150 family in the nation. When Corey Holcomb said he met Paul Mooney shook his hand, didn't want to let his hand go. You know what I'm saying? Made Corey feel very bad. You know what I'm saying? You all know how outspoken Corey Holcomb is. So, a few other people have said the same thing about Paul Mooney. And Corey Holcomb called him an aggressive homosexual. Like, how can you be aggressive? You feel what I'm saying? And also, while I'm on this story, can you all please tell me, what do the word fish basket mean? Because I heard 2 gay guys arguing and they was calling each other fish basket. I'm like, who the hell got some fish basket and don't want to share? I love fish. Fish that be in the water in the sea, you feel me? But I don't want that other kind of fish. But then I realized what the hell they were talking about. I'm like, no, I don't want no fish. I'm good with that. Y'all can keep that. I got that myself. But anyway, I want you all to let me know what you think. Do you think, because I think it's true, but don't think just because what I think. I'm not one of these people who want you to think like me. That's why I asked you all, what's your opinion? That's why I say before I start the story, I'm going to give my opinion. But it's laced with a lot of facts. You see what I'm saying? But do you all think that Paul Mooney is guilty in this situation? And also, why would people take their own narrative, hear what they want to hear? See, this is a certain thing that you have in this world today. You have people with selective hearing. They hear the shit they want to hear, and everything else, they block it out. If the man's out there and said that he was a teenager and it happened before the 1980s, what give y'all the right to sit up here and make your own date up just to justify Paul Mooney? The timeline is off. Your train of thought is off. The man said it happened before the 80s. So what's before 80s? 70s, right? Okay. Let me know what you all think about this video. And Paul Mooney, everybody get their wake-up call in Hollywood. Everybody get their wake-up call, but you can look and tell. You can look and tell Paul Mooney is sweet as honey. You feel what I'm saying? Let me know what you all think. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely share this video with your family and friends, and I will keep you all updated as the story goes. And yes, I do have pink on today. That's because I am very confident in my manhood. I don't have to sit up here and say I'm not this, I'm not that, because anybody can tell you any damn thing. Be confident, be who you are, and that's all I can tell you pretty much. And yes, I do have pink on. I love the color pink. That don't mean I'm sweet on the wrong. Anyway, let me know what you all think in the comment section. Till then, you all stay blessed. Watch your back, watch your front, and keep your legs closed and your ass tight, because trust me, somebody out here is trying to get you. I'm out.